Okay, so we're going to talk about this idea of a logarithm, which a log is a function, and it is really just a way to express an exponent, and we'll kind of work through that as we talk through this video. A log, first just kind of notation-wise, a log has a few parts, so it could be like a log, let's just throw some numbers and letters. So if I have log base 3 and then x, and then it's equal to let's call it 4. Okay, so this number down here, it is below the line, and look in your book and see how it's a subscript, but it's called the base. We call this number the argument. And this is just the exponent here. Is one way to, it's what it becomes when you write it in exponential form. It's really just a value. But this will become the exponent when we write this in exponential form. But if you know this is the base, that's good. So the log of the base is down low. The common log, so there's a lot, you can put anything you want as the base, but if you just see log with no base, then that implies that the base is 10. So log x is the same thing as log base 10. This is a button you'll see on a calculator. If you just hit log, find that on your calculator, it's over on the left. That's a common log, or just a log with the base of 10. It's kind of like a square root. Like you don't need to write, if I'm going to take the square root of 9, you don't put the 2 there. If there's no number there, you know it's a square root. And then the natural log, the other button you'll see on the calculator, is an ln, and that is a natural log. The natural log has a base of e. So what you won't see is you won't see something like this, log base e to the x, because instead they would just write the natural log. So you have the natural log and the common log. And find those buttons on the calculator. The other one you'll want to find is if you push math and then scroll up, you'll find a log base if you have a somewhat new TI-84. If you don't have, and that's where you can change the base, so you could type in actually log base 3. If you don't have that key, then we'll figure out a way to do that. You can do a change of base formula, and we'll talk about that later. But there's a way around it, but you may find that useful. Okay, so a neat thing about logs, and a very, very important thing, you will use this a lot throughout the unit, is going back and forth between exponential and log function. Exponential and log form. And so let's just start, say I have 10 to the negative 4th is equal to 0.0001. Okay, well I could write this as a log. The way you do that is you identify the base first. So that's, the base is the base. So this is just going to be log base 10, and we'll write this down here even though you really shouldn't. And then it can't be that the argument is the negative 4, because that would be too easy. That would look almost the same. You just added the log there, right? Math is not that easy. Instead, you have to make the old switcheroo. So we have negative 4 in this, 0.0001. Just switch them up. And so it would be log base 10 of 0.00101 is equal to negative 4. So this process is kind of tricky. It's very important to get it down. There's a few different ways people explain it. One thing that I've heard said, or I used to say this a lot, is the exponent exits to the other side. So this negative 4 is the exponent. It exits over here. But I do like, I think the best way is probably just say it, switch it. And so we switch the left and right with the rest. The base stays the base, and then everything else switches. Let's look at another one. So number 2, let's say if I had like log base 7 of y is equal to 2. Okay, so if I want to do this, then my base stays my base. Oops, this is the log form. I wrote it in the wrong column. Let's move that over. So we'll go back the other way. So if you want to write this as an exponent, your base is the base of the exponent. So that is base of 7. And then we're just going to switch these other two. So this becomes 7 to the y power is equal to 2. Let's write the base and then switch. Let's do 2 more. Let's start with an exponential form this time. Let's do e to the x plus 1 is equal to 5. Okay, so e to the x plus 1 is equal to 5. So then my base is e, so I'm going to use a natural log because my base is e. So that's where the e goes. We'll put it there, but we're going to get rid of it because I don't want you to write that. You should not write that. The natural log tells you the e is there. And then switch the other two things. So it'll be natural log of 5 when I pull the little switcheroo, and then is equal to x plus 1. Okay, then let's go back one more time. Let's start with the log. So if I have a log of 3 and then x plus 1 is equal to 8. So if I want to go back the other way, start with 3. That is my base. And so that's going to be the base of my exponent, 3 to the 8 power, as I pulled the little switcheroo, is equal to x plus 1. So practice this skill. The good news is you can do a lot of these problems kind of quickly. So I would try to do a lot of them so you're comfortable with switching back and forth between log and exponential form. It is not an easy thing. It is short, but it's not an easy thing to get. So expect it to take some time. Maybe do a little practice, take a break, take a day, come back to it. It will take some time to get this down.